Hello again, it's Kevin Smith from Baton Rouge. George Marsden's The Outrageous Idea of Christian Scholarship is one of the most intriguing books I have read in several years. One perusal is not enough, and I will most likely visit again in the future. While I did not always agree with Marsden, I also found that I could not fully disagree with him either. Like other great works, this is a quality which makes it excellent. Marsden's work is thought-provoking and left me wanting further discussion. As a Christian, I found his ultimate solution for how to remedy the anti-Christian bias in academia unsatisfactory. However, I also cannot dismiss the framework on which he built his solution, for his points are valid. Academic bias and the resultant hypocrisy is so established that it seems to be part of the normal college atmosphere now. Dr. Schultz showed several experiences in this course's videos, which I found all too familiar. Marsden did an excellent job in analyzing such academic bias by looking at the historical and philosophical foundations of the modern university. Looking back to the scientific revolution and the Enlightenment, he presented the anti-Christian bias in the best possible light by focusing on the sincere desire to create a forum for universal knowledge and inclusive learning. Excluding the supernatural, knowledge was derived only from the study of the natural world, and thus could be analyzed, debated, and held by everyone regardless of their background. In this manner, the university was only to pursue knowledge that everyone could receive even if they did not agree. However, this model of a university is unworkable because life's most meaningful questions are left unsettled, and so academics sought to fill the void. Marsden effectively highlighted this point as a root of academia's hypocrisy regarding Christianity and other issues. Universities set the parameters for their fields of study, the framework of discovery, and thus choose what ideas are acceptable and which ones are not. Certain avenues of inquiry are deemed inappropriate or even immoral and thus prohibited, all the while proclaiming an environment of free thought and dialogue. Marsden does not reject the need for boundaries in intellectual pursuits, for not all the ideas are equally meritorious, and some are even harmful. He does rightly point out that in order to set boundaries, you need to first establish a principle of discernment which requires a standard. And here's where academia fails. More often than not, scholars proclaim a moral standard but cannot provide a rational basis for that standard. Morality does not flow from observations of nature. It belongs to the metaphysical, which is a highly contentious field that was sought to be avoided. Yet necessity drives academics to deal in that realm, so Marsden challenges why Christianity is excluded, for it has a great deal to say on human thought and behavior. He proceeded to demonstrate to great effect that Christianity has had and could have on the academic environment. As such, Marsden highlighted several key entry points into the academic world, a seat at the table, that do not require compromising Christian beliefs and do not require silencing contrary views. Herein I found 2 points unsatisfactory, but not entirely disagreeable with his approach. First, many scholars and university leadership are not neutral on Christianity. They are openly hostile. They oppose it for the very precepts that it advocates, divine salvation and relationship. Richard Dawkins has characterized Christianity as a disease in need of a cure. Biblical scholar Bart Ehrman holds that Christianity cannot be taken seriously. Mathematician Aldous Huxley was succinctly honest when he said, "I don't want there to be a God." The names can go on. These hard opinions may be a minority, but they do carry great weight. The university listens more to Carl Sagan than to Billy Graham. Marsden recognized this fact, but seems to downplay how firmly entrenched this attitude is. Secondly, Marsden wants Christianity to be accepted at the table of ideas, just like any other worldview. In this pursuit of acceptance, there's a danger in watering down the gospel message. Christ warned us that we would be hated because of him and that the gospel is offensive. As Christians, we seek to love our neighbors and do not seek to provoke, but we cannot lose sight of the fact, in spite of our actions, many find Christ's gospel detestable and will not tolerate a Christian influence. As the scripture says, what fellowship does light have with darkness? This statement applies to the university as well, and in spite of Marsden's best wishes, I'm afraid the spirit of the age in academia will not permit a chair for Christians, regardless of how rational it might be. It is with a degree of sadness that I share my last video with you. This exercise has been one of the most enriching activities of this course. Online learning is often an isolated endeavor, but these assignments went a long way towards rectifying that perception. Each week I eagerly watched your posts and read your blogs and came away feeling that I was getting to know you all better. Likewise, I appreciated the compliments and comments you all posted from my submissions. They were helpful and above all encouraging, which is especially needed in these trying 8 weeks. It is exciting to work with such a fine group of rising historians, and I hope to do so again. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you in your future studies.